once again, my friend. Now then, today we're going to be doing something a little bit experimental in the medical community. This is a new form of therapy designed to relax you and alleviate any anxieties or worries that you might have. We're going to get rid of all of those nasty little anxieties and worries and concerns, all those thoughts in your head. They're going to be gone. Absolutely gone. Yes, indeed. And this experimental therapy that I'm talking about is drawing on your face. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, little creature. It sounds a little bit strange, doesn't it? Indeed it does. Indeed it does. But rest assured, my little creature, that any drawing that I do today on your face, it shall wash right off, okay? So you can just take a shower after today's appointment and it will all go away. Do you shower, little creature? Now that I think about it, you are so small. If you took a shower, you might wash away down the plug hole. Does that happen? Do you take showers, little creature? And if you don't, how do you keep clean? Never mind. That's not important. That's none of my business, is it? That's your personal hygiene. Okay, enough rambling and being silly. Let's begin drawing on that beautiful face of yours, shall we, little creature? Let me just get some colouring pencils from my pencil case. My little doggy pencil case. Can you see? Can you see my little doggy pencil case? It's very old, I'm afraid. Oh, he's got a hole between his eyes. Oh goodness me. And he's got a stylish little ear piercing here. A pop rivet ear piercing. What a stylish little dog. What about this green colour to begin with? What do you think about that, little creature? A lovely little green colour. I actually adore this colour green. It's quite nice, don't you think so? What would you say it's like apples, perhaps? Apples. Okay, let me get into a comfortable position and we can begin this drawing, can't we? There we go, little creature, are you ready? I'm just going to absolutely get right in there and begin drawing. Why not, after all? Why not? whilst you could think of it as being scary, that we are so small, that we are just one thing out of billions, I actually think the opposite, little creature. I actually think that it should be relaxing. It should encourage us to worry less. To worry less, indeed. Because why is it your responsibility to worry about is thinking of a beach. Think of a beach, my little creature. A lovely little beach. A lovely little beach. It's massive. It's golden. It's sandy. Of course. Well, actually, you can get pebble beaches, can't you? But pebble beaches, they kind of suck, don't they? Let's be real. Let's be real. As much as I like pebbles, pebble beaches, no. Sand knows something to be true, because there's so many different perspectives on the same thing, and often these different perspectives, they're all valid. They're all valid if you can provide good reasoning for why your perspective, which might be different to another person's, if you can provide good reasoning as to why your perspective is good and true, then it is good and true. It is as simple as that. Perhaps that is also why there is often so much conflict in the world, arguments, disagreements, things like that, because we have different perspectives on the same issue, and yet both perspectives can be valid at the same time, despite the fact that they are opposing perspectives. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, little creature? Am I making any sense? Or am I once again just absolutely waffling? Is that what I'm doing? Am I waffling? Is my waffling stupid? Is it too much? Should I cease? Should I cease the waffling, my little creature, my friend, and just draw? Just draw, empty my mind and draw, instead of trying to empty your mind with drawing and relaxing things. It is ever so fun just to draw, you know. You probably can't see right now, but I'm kicking my feet in the air like a school child, filled with whimsy and wonder and fun and happiness. And all I'm doing is drawing, really. That's all I'm doing. And yet it fills me with wonder and happiness and whimsy. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you're engaging in activity today, little creature, that will also fill you with whimsy, you know, and fun. Not everything has to be serious all the time. Not everything has to be productive all the time. That is something that I struggle with, you know. I feel the need to be productive almost all the time. When I have spare time, sometimes I feel bad if I'm not being productive. What an absurd notion. What an absurd notion. You know what I think deep down, really, genuinely? I think it is impossible to waste time. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as wasting time, because every experience is an experience and is valid and has something to offer. Even if you are just having fun, in my opinion, actually that is extremely important and valuable, to have fun. What do we do in life once our basic needs are met? We have fun. We invent things, don't we? We invent funny ways to have fun, tell jokes, play games, engage in leisure activities. That's what we do once all our basic needs are met. And so surely that could be perceived as the highest attainable goal, to have fun. I think so. I think so personally. I think having fun is very important indeed. Tip-top important. What purpose does laughter serve biologically, evolutionarily? There is none, surely. Perhaps you could argue something like social cohesion. It helps social cohesion, helps strengthen social bonds, but not really. Come on, laughter occurs even when you're on your own. Happens to me all the time when I'm on my own. I'm laughing at thoughts and jokes and ideas and things that I see. Laughter is so spontaneous, don't you think? And so wonderful. So wonderful. Probably my favorite thing in life, period. I love to laugh. I love to laugh so much. It's my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing. And yet, yes, it does serve any simple biological or evolutionary function, and yet, in my opinion, it is my most highly valued thing in life. Yes, indeed. What do you think, little creature? Do you think I've rambled enough for the day? Do you think I've filled that little tiny brain of yours with stupid thoughts from my tiny little brain? I've been transferring thoughts from my brain into your brain, haven't I? Transferring thoughts. And that's actually quite magical if you think about it. The ability for us simply to communicate ideas from my brain to yours. You know, little creature, I remember watching a long time ago now a short little interview with Elon Musk, and you know he has a company that makes Neuralink. Neuralink, it's a chip, a little sort of microchip that they put inside your brain, and at the moment it is basically allows you to do things neurologically that you may not be able to do. For example, it's being used for people with disabilities, with neurological disabilities, and it helps them to do things that they otherwise couldn't do. Now that is phenomenal. Obviously, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But in this interview, Elon Musk was talking about the potential future of Neuralink and what it could be when it becomes more advanced and when it becomes more commercialized. And in that aspect, more people would have Neuralink. You know, not necessarily people who are disabled, but just everyday people. It could become like a smartphone, you know what I'm saying? Everybody might have a Neuralink chip installed in their brain. Personally, I think that's absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And I don't think I would ever have a chip implanted in my brain. No. But one of the ideas that Mr. Elon Musk spoke about in this interview was the idea that if two people had the Neuralink chip in their brains, installed in their brains, maybe you have one in yours, I have one in mine, we could communicate ideas directly between our brains, between the chips, without any need for actual out loud verbal communication. It would simply be like data transferring between one chip to another, like how computers transfer information, right? When a computer sends an email to another computer, it doesn't actually speak about it, does it? It simply sends the information across. It simply sends it across. And that is how human communication could occur in the future if we were all to become embedded with these microchips in our brains. Imagine the implications of that. What if we lost the ability to speak out loud, verbally? Because it would be made redundant, wouldn't it? It would be made redundant by the chips. Maybe at that point, speaking would be like an art form, you know, or like a pastime for fun, you know, like how some mediums of art are just like for fun. They're just a pastime now. You know, some people, some nerds, I mean that in a nice way, an affectionate way. Some people, they have typewriters, you know, they collect typewriters and they use typewriters and stuff like that. Obviously that is a totally redundant form of communication and writing, but it's fun. It is fun to indulge in. Of course. Maybe in the future, spoken language will be like that. Can you imagine that as a concept? That's absolutely things about that is that it will eradicate. I can't think of it right now, my brain has stopped working. It will eradicate mistakes being made. You know how sometimes when we communicate ideas to each other, maybe the other person receiving the information, they misinterpret what we say, maybe because I explain myself poorly, or I use a bad choice of words, or maybe the tone of my voice conveys something that I didn't mean to convey, you know. So information is misunderstood, or something, some sort of subtext or hidden meaning is taken from the message when it was not intended that way. Now, those mistakes will be totally and utterly eradicated if we do have microchips in our brain, because the information will simply be sent perfectly. The medium of communication will be perfect. There will be no room for mistakes. It's kind of like the difference between a phone call and a text message. In a text message, the information is there, black and white. You can't mistake it, right? It is what it is. But if you're making a phone call, it's very easy to mishear somebody. Maybe you think they say one thing, but they actually said another, simply because of the quality of the phone, or I guess maybe the sound is